G'day, welcome back. I'm Baz, this is Sharpen, and today I'm sharpening 8 Japanese knives that I've never heard of before. 2 are serrated, so 10 altogether, plus a buck knife, all for the same customer. And I told him that I would record the session, so you may as well watch me as I do it. So, the Blackstone is what I'll be using. It has just recently been surfaced and leveled, so that's good to go. I've just done a heap of chisels. You may have seen that movie. If not, it's coming. It's a marathon, that one, over 3 hours of nothing but chisel sharpening. So for those who want to know how to sharpen a chisel, I'd recommend getting onto that one as well. Now, so I'm going to sharpen the serrated knives first using my Japanese SJ 250 wheel. This is a 4000 grit wheel, and I use the corners, the radius, to get into the coves. It's a neat trick. So let's get started. We'll start off with the Japanese, and I'll just put it on the corner here. A little bit on the cove, a little bit on the tip, just to touch it and give it a fresh edge. No reshaping or anything required. So this is the third in the series, in the Watch Me series, where we just leave the camera running, no major editing, just watching me work. Apparently people like to watch other people work. I do. I like watching people work. I love hard work. I could watch it all day. Okay, then on the back side. And then I do the tip. There's usually got some straight edge on the top of a serrated, and that feels pretty good. To clean it up, I use the side of my kangaroo tail strop. So over here where it leans over, put it up against the edge, and I'll just do that. And hopefully that's it. Let's test. Oops, I've run out of paper. Grab some over here. Lovely. So that's done. Now, I will also do the little one. Not so easy to get into the coves on this one, but should still clean up nicely. This Japanese wheel is largely useless. I've never been able to get a knife sharper using it. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, don't know. But I found a use for it doing serrated knives. So I'm happy that it gets some use. It's pretty small at the moment, but it doesn't really matter because I use it freehand here. See how that went. Beautiful. So that's the 2 serrateds done. That was quick. I'll pop that up there. Now we'll get to the chef knives. First I'll show you what they are. I've never seen this brand before, but have you? Calphalon VG1. I'm not sure what VG1 is. I'll have to look it up on my app. Katana series. Now these edges are a little bit crumbly, but they should come up okay without too much fuss. Let's time it on the spinner. Pop it in there. Get the angle roughly right. Straighten the blade. I always like to make sure this is all perpendicular to each other. Now set the angle to probably 15 degrees, which I know these will probably take more, smaller degree than that, but this will keep them nice and robust. Oh, nailed it. So, let's get straight into it. This Blackstone is very sharp wheel, so I can leave it set to the fine setting and it will still sharpen beautifully. Really take the edge right down quickly without the multiple steps required from the standard super grind wheel, the SG. Let's just touch it on the 320 grit, just to make sure it's sitting at a 1000 grit. So the diamond plate, you times that by 3, and that gives you roughly what the wheel is. Now this will be a one-take video, so whatever happens, happens. Minimal editing is the go, because editing kills my enthusiasm. It's such a hassle. I'm starting to get a burr. Oh, give it a couple goes. Using my unique tip first technique. If you're new to Tormek and you're doing it the old way, which is heel first and then finishing on the tip and trying to get that tip smooth, it'll never work. Do it tip first and you will thank me later. It seems backwards, but soon the traditional way will seem backwards to you. Okay, almost there. I do this until I can feel a burr with my fingers that's obvious and pronounced. Like this. And that is there. Just a couple of more goes just to be safe. So once you feel the burr, give it another couple of runs just to make sure that it's there. It should stand out and be very obvious. Oh, that's the phone ringing. And it stopped ringing. That chisel video that goes for 3 hours and 15 minutes, 22 gigabytes. I'm trying to upload it on my mobile phone data plan. So it might take a while. I just saw the heel was a bit unfinished on this side. Now it's perfect. Fully sharp. One more run. Okay. It's fully burred over. Give it a hone and a strop. Smack it on the arse and it's ready to go. Always burr to the top to start off with to polish the back of the burr, weaken it. So that way when you finally go to attack the burr, it comes off easy. A couple of passes is all you need. And I tested on my fingernail. It looks more horrific than it is. It's actually harmless, and that feels very smooth. Ready to go. Now, you'd think that the burr was off from that, but it's not. There's a little micro burr, or the root of the burr is still stuck in there. And it's stuck in between all the little grooves from the grinding wheel. And that's what the kangaroo tail is for. Now, if you can't find a kangaroo tail, you can use buffalo or horse hide. Poor horses. And that should get in there. I can't guarantee it, but I suspect. People have also had some luck with lizard skin, but it's a little bit fragile. The good thing about kangaroo tail is that it's so tough. It's the toughest leather on earth. Now you imagine what a kangaroo tail has to do. Now don't be misled with kangaroo hide. It's not the same thing, entirely different. Let's have a look. Beautiful. Number one. Right. Let's crack on to number two. Now number two's got a little bit of rust and stuff. Alright, it's a little bit chipped on the edge, but that should all come off. I'll give it a quick rub with my 4/0. That's 4 zeros steel wool, and just on the rusty spots. There you go. On this side. That's enough. A message. Hello. It says hello. I saw online you have a knife sharpening business. Do you also do knife thinning? Now, who knows the answer to that? The answer is no, I don't do knife thinning. But I know a guy who does. So I'll put him onto him. That's the same angle. And normally, when I see a chipped edge, I take it over to the linisher, which is a wide sanding belt machine, and I just run the edge quickly, but I'd rather not do that. I'd rather grind away. It takes a little bit longer, but eventually gets there and keeps the knife as thin as possible. Now, these knives were his dad's, and so we wanted to get them sharpened just because his dad loved them apparently. Now, from all reports, you do like these Watch Me videos. I like watching people work as well. So hopefully you're enjoying this one. Not really that much to them. It's just me sharpening. Okay. Nearly there. Oh, I can see one little dip, so I'll give it a couple of more passes. So on the normal SG wheel, which is the standard wheel that comes with the Tormek, trying to grind your knives on the fine setting will take you a very long time. But this Blackstone is made of silicon carbides, or silicon carbide, and it is very sharp, which is why it works on the fine setting and saves you a lot of time going backwards and forwards from the fine to the coarse to the coarse to the fine to the fine to the coarse to the coarse to the fine. Just trying to get this heel a little bit better. That's much better. More evenness. Check it out. You can see that burr. See the burr on the top? Just hanging around like a bad smell. Let's have a look at that tip. That one's that wide. Oh, this one's probably a little bit shy. I might give it one more go on this side. That's all. You can feel a good burr along there, so that's done. Now, a lot of people believe that freehand honing, this is a honing wheel, is bad. And that could be because there are ways to match the bevel angle exactly by using a front mount and laying it on there. Oops, bang on my microphone. And laying it on there at exactly the right angle, but it's not necessary. It might be, you might get a little bit of extra sharpness, but nothing that that you'll notice in the kitchen, really. And this saves a lot of time and is, as I've proven, good enough. If it can slice through a cigarette rolling paper, then I'm good. Beautiful. Clean out that micro burr. The trick to the kangaroo tail, as some of you may or may not know, are the ridges. I'll keep showing this in most of my movies, but there are new people coming all the time. You see the ridges? Those ridges, they sound bumpy, but they get in to the grooves and remove that micro burr, which if you leave it on there, it will come out and wrap over the edge and make premature bluntness. Nobody wants to be premature or anything, really, right? So let's have a look and see if that's sharp enough. Let's have a look here. No, still needs a bit more work. It's better to underdo it and have to do it again than to overdo it and find that it doesn't work. Beautiful. All right, it's number 2 down. Number 3 down, Santoku. Again, it's got a bit of a chipped edge. Have a look. But I'll just grind through that. Oh, see that? Just through the years and the ages. That should be about the same height as the other wheels, so that should be about right angle. A little bit long, so let's pull it back a little bit. That should be fine. And because we're dealing with chips, give it 3 passes on one side. So once again, let me know where you're from, where you're watching from, where are you? Do you enjoy these watch me videos? Or do you prefer something a little bit more edited and brief? Sometimes you don't have time. But that's right, this is a leisure video. It's for when you'd rather not watch TV and you'd rather watch something like this. One of my favourite long watches is Blacktail Studios. Do you know who that is? Blacktail Studios. He makes epoxy tables and furniture. Fascinating. Fascinating. A couple of little chips left. Who else do I like watching? Wristwatch Revival. Anything that involves crashed or flood damaged luxury cars. I love watching them put that back together. We've got a good burr. We've got good bevels. We've got a clean tip. Beautiful day in South Australia at the moment. Beautiful day. Now let me have a look here, check for chips. No chips, but that heel could do with a bit more work. Much better. Beautiful. These knives have a very unique handle, and I love the name Katana because I myself have a GSX 1100 from 1981. If you're interested in seeing that, you can go to my other channel called Australian GSX 1100 and check out what I'm doing with that bike over there. It's at the mechanics at the moment, replacing the fork tubes. I bought some Italian fork tubes, brand new. They're getting a bit old now, 1981, so what's that, 45 years old almost. Put new brake lines. Somebody painted the engine black. I don't like that. They're supposed to have silver engines. So I'm getting that corrected with some dry ice blasting. And then it's going in for a new paint job. All providing, of course, that you guys keep buying Baz knives. Alright, let's test. Nice. Maybe a little bit crackly. Let's try again. Oh, much better. Oh, oh, oh. Magnificent. 3 down. Now this one's like a medium chef knife. If you're into motorbikes, let me know. If you ride a motorbike, name it. I dare you. My neighbours are Brazilian. They play Brazilian music. So sometimes I do that move. Did I do that correctly? There goes that telephone again. Who could that be? Okay, we're back. There's somebody buying a kangaroo tail. How good's that? My kangaroo tails are hand selected specifically for knife sharpening aficionados. I want to make sure that we get like half of the batch that I bought, no good. Too small, too mangled, ridges are not high enough, so only about half of them I was able to sell. A lot of the jumbos are gone, so I've got large, mediums and smalls. So don't be shy. Sadly, only for Australians. Nobody overseas can have one, but you may not need one. Just get some sort of leather that is, they call them crust. A crust has not been coloured, it's not been rolled. Smooth belt leather has been crushed and rolled and no good. What you want is something that's got texture like buffalo skin or something like that. It's called crust. It hasn't been touched other than being tanned, vegetable tan preferred, and then you should be able to get similar results. My plan was to sell them all to overseas and anybody who wants one. That did not happen for lots of reasons. I can blame a lot of people, but you know, laws are laws. It's a $200,000 fine if I get caught trying to export, which is similar to smuggling, I suppose. Kangaroo tails out of the country, or any kangaroo product, without all the proper licenses and certificates, and they are a headache. So it is what it is. Birds. Australian birds. My engineering eye says this bevel's a bit smaller than this one, so I'm going to go in again. Much better. Mui calidorus. Yes, it might be interesting for you to see how long it takes me to do 10 knives. In case you're thinking of starting up a sharpening business, which I highly recommend everybody does, even if it's for a bit of spare cash in the after hours. Oh, let me test it. Perfect. A little bit catchy still. If it catches on this paper, it means that the burr is still on there. If it slides through that paper, then there's no burr on there, micro or otherwise. So that's why it's my final test. And I know that if I'm delivering burr-free knives with good proper geometry edges, then we are gold. and they should last longer. Oh, beautiful entry. Great glide edge. Oh, magnificent. You can thank your mother for those rabbits. All right, let's go to the smaller Santoku. Oh, needs to lay down a little bit more. Beautiful. One more, just for cheeky. I wish you could see what I'm seeing right now, because I can see the burr actually developing in the water. It's really good. Nice. Moving to the Blackstone has doubled my speed, I'm sure of it. Still got a few little chips here. So even though I was able to feel a burr, it doesn't mean that all the chips are gone. Still needs a visual inspection. I'll grind away all those chips. Took a magnificent photo of Chili today in front of my car. Go and have a look at my community tab on my YouTube page, and you'll see a great photo of him just sitting upright and proud. He's a good boy. He's a very polite dog. Aren't you, mate? If you're thinking of becoming a sharpener and you don't have a dog, maybe sharpening's not for you. Every man needs a big dog, preferably brown. Big brown dogs are the best. I mean, have a look at this. How good is that? How good are you, Mr. Chili? Blink if you're good. Good on you. Now, I always apply the compound, which is chrome oxide made by Veritas, just in order to keep everything the same. My entire system has to be identical to the knife before, otherwise I'm not going to know which part is affecting the sharpness if it doesn't work. So this rotating leather by itself will not do the job. You need a bit of abrasion, And this chrome oxide is around about 8,000 grit, just enough to polish that apex, the very tip of the edge. Nice. Always wipe off the wax because you do not want it contaminating your kangaroo tail, because they're expensive and the good ones are hard to find. When I'm sold out of these, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find any more. These were really hard and tough to find. That's why I bought so many at once. It almost emptied me. But you guys have pitched in, helped me pay for them, and given me a few cents profit on top. Thank you for that. Ah, let's have a look. Nice entry. Oh, a little bit recalcitrant. Come on, mate, what's your problem? Now that could also be a chip that's left in there. If most of it goes good and then it stops. But I can't see anything physical. Should just be a little piece of micro burr hanging around. The ridges are needed to remove the micro burr. I'll just use the other side just to refine it a little bit, but you want to rip out that micro burr, you need the ridges. Let's have a look. Oh, nice entry. Good glide edge. Nice. Perfect. Alright, 3 to go. How are we going for time? Will I get them done within the hour? Oh, I don't know, this is the second movie. 13 minutes plus the other one was about 30. I think we might. That'll be good. My record is 11 knives in 55 minutes, I think. 52 minutes. That was on the old wheel. Oops, hang on. Who was thinking, did you check the angle, Baz? You didn't check the angle. And it would have been a little bit too steep. Nice. How am I going on that movie? 11%. It's going to take a few weeks to upload that one. And at my data rate, a few bucks as well. A little bit uneven on the bevel, so I'm going to try again more on this side. Much better. Now this side. Buzz off, Louis. Is Louis the Fly universal? Is he international? Or is that just Australian? Maybe a bit more heel work on this one. Perfect. Now one more on this side. Perfect. All that needed was one pass on each side. There was a Tormek video that was instructing you. They were talking about honing. You can look it up. They said you must spend at least as much time honing as you do sharpening. Incorrect, fellas. Incorrect, fellas. But I expect that there'll be no one at Tormek who has sharpened more knives than me on their T8s. Because they're generalists. They want to use all the tools. They test them, I'm sure they do. But they wouldn't be doing thousands of knives like I have. Each one of those wheels over there represents 500 knives. There's about 10 wheels. So it's definitely over 5,000 knives now. Cliff from Custom Curry Cutlery, because his name's Cliff Curry, he does about 10,000 knives an hour. He's a star. Oh, let's have a look. Oh, great entry. Look at that. Magnificent. Second to last. These have all got little chips on them. Chips. Fish and chips and vinegar. Same as the last one. Let's just give it a quick touch with the 320. Now when this movie's over, or near the end, I'll slice through some magazine paper so we can get that visual as well. So hang around for that spectacular vision. Perfect. Perfect. Still a few little chips. Right here, I'll show you. See them there? They're chips. They don't come off. They're on this side as well. There they are. Right there, see them? A bit more to go. Give it a double. Still there. And you can't just do that section alone. You've got to do the whole bevel, otherwise you end up with facets. And I hate facets. I want the whole knife to be one facet. Singular. Okay, I think we're there. Yep. I cannot see anymore. I cannot see it. Roger. One more after this. Oh, then the buck knife for dessert. Daylight saving ended last night, which means everyone has to go to bed at 7 p.m. Ridiculous. However, seasons are good for you. If you live in a tropical environment where there are no seasons, you'll go stir crazy. You need change. True? Or am I the only one who thinks like that? You need the cold in order to enjoy the heat, and you need the heat in order to enjoy the cool. Nice, look at that. Fantastic. Alright, one little paring knife left. Still on 11%. What's going on here, mate? Oh, we've dropped down to 1 bar. Crikeys. I don't want that. There you go, at least 2 bars. We go for a walk down to the park where it's 5 bars, you bathed in radiation. That's when you get the good uploads. I know I should get internet here. I've had internet before, but the ISPs, they're all lunatics, man. All of them. I want to charge you for this and I want to charge you for that. I might go with Elon Musk. What's it called? I'm currently tethering from my phone for my entire internet, the whole house. Bit of a joke, isn't it? Oh, I think we're done here. Oh, no, I can still see a chip. You want to see it? There it is. See that? Right on the edge. Right there. No good. Some might say you're worrying about nothing, mate, but you know, I want to be better. Some knife sharpeners don't care. They just zip them up on their belts and send them out the door. It's getting a bit warm now. That's better. Beautiful. Just beautiful. VG1. I'll have to look it up on my app. See what it says. straight in. Look at that. Oh, a little bit catchy there. Let's give it a little bit more. The paper often catches right in the middle. I don't know if that's a structural problem or a sharpness problem. Let's blame the paper. Couldn't be the sharpener. Beautiful. I hope you could see that with my shoulder in the way. All right, now let's sharpen this buck for dessert. Who watches beard versus food? He's cool. English guy, little thin guy who eats a tremendous amount of food. Tremendous. Now, you know what? The factory bevel's gone. It's been rounded off and all sorts of things going on here. So what I might do is just give it a clean. So I can see what I'm doing. And we'll give this one a 35. 35 from the secondary bevel. Or is that the primary? I don't know. But the big one. So we'll move this up to 17.5. Beautiful. Starting to get a burr. What are we up to now? 12%, yay! It's a very long movie, that one, chisels. But people have been asking me for a chisel movie for a long time. Well, now you've got a really big one to watch. Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation. That's a famous knife maker, is it? I've seen that brand on other things, on other knives. Where have I seen that? Am I thinking of CRKT? I think I am. Okay. I'll show you what this bevel looks like up close on the buck. I think you'll be interested. Good burr. That's it, we're done. Just whip that burr off. I'll come and show you. And then we're done. Beautiful. It's nice, sharp. Nice. Now I wonder if it can slice paper, do you reckon? Or cigarette paper, I mean. It might. Oops, wrong side. Oh yeah. A little bit catchy. Certainly cutting. How about that? How about that? Done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 knives in whatever the timestamp says. Well, that was a good one. I enjoyed that. Hope you did too. And if you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing. There's much more of this to come. I'm not going anywhere. It's a pretty focused channel, just knife sharpening with chisels chucked in now. So coming up in future videos, I've got the mail order knives from around Australia and lots of other good things. So thank you. That's all for now, and I'll see you in the next one. What did I forget? I forgot the paper slicing because, you know, that's good fun. Let's go. Chef knife. Nakiri. Large Sentoku. Small chef. Small Sentoku. Medium, what's this, a utility. Ooh. Another utility, or this is a utility. And small paring knife. But what about the buck? How will the buck go? Of course, fantastic. Beautiful. That's it. Now I'm leaving for sure. See you later.